In the world of WWE, where everything is pushed to the extreme, from appearances and personalities to performance styles, it's not always easy for fans to separate the character from the real person behind it. Over the years, several wrestlers have been mistaken as members of the LGBT community, simply because of their unique presentation or unconventional look. While most of these assumptions had no basis in reality, they highlight just how powerful on-screen imagery can be in shaping public perception. Here are 16 names who found themselves caught in that very misunderstanding. Number 1. Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, when a character pushes the boundaries. When the name Goldust first flashed across WWE screens, many viewers were stunned by his striking and unconventional appearance. With heavy makeup reminiscent of a drag performer, a body clad in shimmering gold, and provocative, unpredictable gestures, Goldust quickly became one of the most controversial figures of the Attitude Era. His androgynous image and cryptic performance style led many to assume he was part of the LGBT community, a conclusion drawn from the blending of masculine and feminine traits he portrayed so effortlessly. But behind the elaborate makeup was Dustin Rhodes, a straight man. In real life, he's been through multiple marriages, has children, and lives a life far removed from the ambiguous persona he brought to life on television. This only highlighted Dustin's remarkable talent as a performer, willing to throw himself into a risky and unconventional role during a time when professional wrestling wasn't exactly known for its openness toward gender expression or identity. Goldust wasn't just a gimmick created for shock value. He stood as a symbol of rebellion in WWE storytelling, a figure who embodied the bizarre, the unexpected, and the creatively daring. That's why the character left such a lasting impact, blurring the lines between fiction and reality for many fans. But if you look closer, you'll see that Dustin Rhodes used Goldust not to confuse people, but to challenge assumptions, not just about sexuality, but about what was possible in the art of wrestling performance. Number 2. Rhea Ripley, the warrior who breaks every mold. Among the most impactful female wrestlers in WWE today, Rhea Ripley stands out as an undeniable force. With her edgy short hair, all-black attire, muscular frame, and bold gothic makeup, Rhea exudes a rebellious, magnetic energy. It's this unapologetically nonconformist style that has led many to assume she's part of the LGBT community. Her unique look has sparked endless discussion on social media. Many fans believe that a strong, assertive woman who doesn't conform to traditional standards of femininity must naturally have a different sexual orientation. The rumors intensified even more because Rhea never tried to soften her image or alter her style to appear more conventional or approachable. However, in reality, Rhea Ripley is not part of the LGBT community. She is straight and currently in a romantic relationship with fellow wrestler Buddy Matthews, real name Matthew Adams, who now competes in AEW. The couple frequently shares their joyful moments online, earning admiration and support from fans all over the world. Rhea Ripley is living proof that being bold, different, or powerful doesn't automatically place someone into a specific minority group. She chooses to stay true to herself instead of conforming to social expectations, and that's exactly what makes her such a one-of-a-kind icon in the world of modern professional wrestling. Number 3. Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo, the same-sex wedding that shook WWE. In 2002, WWE stunned the entertainment world and media alike by pushing forward a same-sex romance storyline between Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo. On television, the two were inseparable, sharing tender moments, coordinating like a real couple, and giving off every impression of being romantically involved. The storyline reached its peak with a full-blown, elaborately staged wedding segment, complete with tuxedos, guests, vows, and all the drama one would expect from a real ceremony. Millions of fans were convinced they were genuinely in love off-screen. For weeks, WWE leaned hard into the narrative, fueling curiosity, speculation, and heated debate. Headlines everywhere proclaimed them as WWE's first gay couple, igniting waves of public reaction, ranging from praise to criticism. But just when the storyline hit its most climactic point, WWE flipped the script. During the live wedding broadcast, Billy and Chuck suddenly revealed that it was all an act, a storyline designed purely to grab attention and stir media buzz. Off the screen, both Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo are straight men with their own private lives. Neither has ever confirmed any real connection to the sexual orientation portrayed in the angle. Still, that wedding segment went down as one of the most jaw-dropping moments in WWE history, not just for its boldness, but for how it blurred the lines between fiction and reality in a way few storylines had before. And that's exactly why Billy and Chuck remain etched in wrestling history, as a symbol of how far WWE was willing to go to shock, entertain, and challenge expectations in the world of sports entertainment. Number 4. Rico, when a stage persona goes beyond reality. Rico was once one of the most perplexing characters in WWE when it came to gender identity. Known for his flamboyant performances, flashy outfits, meticulously styled hair, and graceful, theatrical mannerisms, he fully embraced his eccentric side in front of the camera. His role as the manager of the tag team Billy and Chuck, a duo known for their controversial gimmick, only fueled widespread speculation about Rico's sexual orientation. Many fans believed that Rico was a covert representative of the LGBT community during a time when WWE wasn't particularly open or inclusive. His exaggerated movements, flirtatious glances, and ambiguous expressions led audiences to assume he was more than just a character. They thought he was revealing his true self. However, behind the stage lights, Rico was a very different person. Few people knew that before joining WWE, he served as a police officer and even had experience competing in the world of MMA, a sport that demands toughness, discipline, and physical grit. Off-screen, Rico is heterosexual and not a member of the LGBT community, contrary to popular belief. Rico's story is a clear reminder that a character on television shouldn't be mistaken for the person behind it. He is a prime example of exceptional character work, fully committing to a bold, unique role that added a distinct flavor to the show. Despite being misunderstood, Rico left a lasting impression through his daring and unconventional performances, something not many wrestlers have the courage to take on. Number 5. Tyler Breeze, when appearances deceive everyone. From the moment he debuted in NXT, Tyler Breeze captured attention, not through brute strength or aggressive in-ring style, but with his completely unique Prince of Selfies persona. With perfectly styled hair, flashy outfits, and a phone always ready to capture his every move, Breeze created a flamboyant, fashion-forward character that stood in stark contrast to the traditional image of masculinity often seen in professional wrestling. His character was proud, vain, and almost entirely detached from the gritty toughness expected of most male wrestlers. This portrayal led many to question his sexuality. His androgynous flair, stylized poses, and expressive eyes sparked frequent speculation and comparisons to stereotypes often associated with the LGBT community. For a long time, social media buzzed with rumors suggesting Tyler Breeze might be gay, assumptions based purely on his character's aesthetic and mannerisms. But reality painted a different picture. Outside the ring, Tyler Breeze is a straight man and is married to former WWE wrestler Audrey Marie. Their relationship has remained low-key and private, but those in the industry recognize it as stable and genuine. Tyler Breeze is a prime example of why it's a mistake to judge someone solely by their appearance or on-screen role. His character may have challenged the norms and pushed boundaries, but at the end of the day, it was just that, a character. A crafted persona born out of creativity and performance art, where individuality and expression are not only accepted but celebrated. Number 6. Shawn Michaels, when rebellion was mistaken for something else. During the golden era of D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels became the face of unfiltered rebellion. Alongside Triple H, he turned every WWE appearance into a provocative, outrageous spectacle, often pushing boundaries far beyond what was considered normal. His overly affectionate moments with Triple H, combined with his daring fashion choices, led many fans to question the sexual orientation of the Heartbreak Kid. With his long hair, seductive charisma, and theatrically charged performances, Shawn never shied away from tight outfits, suggestive poses, or provocative gestures. These elements, though designed purely for entertainment, led some viewers, especially at a time when WWE rarely featured such boundary-pushing characters, to believe he might be part of the LGBT community. In reality, what Shawn portrayed on stage was simply a performance, a rebellious, flamboyant character designed to shake things up and entertain. Off-screen, Shawn Michaels is a devoted family man. He's been married to former model Rebecca Kersey since 1999, and the couple has 2 children. His steady and private home life makes it clear that public speculation was based solely on his on-screen persona. Shawn Michaels isn't just a WWE legend. He's someone who broke the mold and left an unforgettable mark through bold creativity. But as his story shows, blazing your own trail sometimes comes with the price of being misunderstood. Number 7. Lita, a bold icon who was misunderstood. During WWE's golden era, Lita stood out not just for her daring in-ring abilities, but for a style that broke away from the typical image of the glamorous female wrestler. With her fiery red hair, edgy fashion sense, and rebellious attitude, she carved out a unique identity, one that was fierce, unapologetic, and far removed from traditional ideas of femininity in wrestling. Lita wasn't trying to fit in, she was blazing her own path. Because of that strong persona, many fans assumed she was part of the LGBT community. At one point, rumors even spread that she might be bisexual. Her close friendships with male colleagues, willingness to take on brutal matches usually reserved for men, and her clear distance from the sexy diva stereotype of the time only added fuel to the speculation. But off-camera, Lita's personal life told a very different story. She had a well-known romance with Matt Hardy, made headlines when she began a highly publicized relationship with Edge, even playing it out in a storyline on TV, and was later rumored to be dating CM Punk. All of her confirmed or rumored partners were prominent male wrestlers, clearly showing that assumptions about her sexuality stemmed more from her unorthodox image than from any actual evidence. Lita never needed fancy dresses or flirtatious looks to make an impact. She succeeded by being unapologetically herself, bold, intense, and unafraid to challenge expectations. And that's exactly what made her a legend, regardless of the misunderstandings that once surrounded her. Number 8. Chyna, the warrior who shattered every boundary. Chyna wasn't just a WWE icon, she was a trailblazer who broke through every gender norm that existed in the wrestling world. With her chiseled physique, stoic expression, and power-packed presence that rivaled any male wrestler, Chyna often left people confused and questioning her gender identity and sexual orientation. Her rise came during an era when WWE heavily emphasized traditional gender roles. While other women in the company wore glamorous makeup and short skirts, Chyna was a complete contrast. She didn't follow the diva mold. She stepped into the ring with grit, strength, and a fearless attitude, taking on male opponents in intense intergender matches. She even made history by winning the Intercontinental Championship, something no woman had ever achieved before her. Because of her dominance and unique appearance, many assumed Chyna might be transgender or part of the LGBT community. But in reality, that wasn't the case. Chyna was heterosexual and had high-profile relationships with fellow wrestlers Triple H and Sean Waltman, X-Pac. Though both relationships ended on rocky terms, they clearly showed that the rumors about her identity were off base. Chyna was living proof that no one should be judged based on appearances or how they choose to express themselves. She never needed to be traditionally feminine to gain respect, nor did she need to fit in to stand out. Her uniqueness, her refusal to conform, is exactly what made her irreplaceable in WWE history. Number 9. Beth Phoenix, the iron-willed warrior who was misjudged. When it comes to powerful female wrestlers who embody the spirit of a true warrior, Beth Phoenix is one of the first names that comes to mind. With a sculpted physique, defined muscles, and an unrelenting attitude, she earned the respect and fear of countless opponents, including men. Beth never shied away from brutal matches and even overpowered male superstars with her fierce, no-nonsense style that broke all expectations of what a diva should be. But her strength and departure from traditional femininity led to unfair misunderstandings. Some fans speculated about her sexuality, while others labeled her as too masculine or questioned her gender identity entirely. At one point, rumors about Beth's true gender spread across social media and fan forums, fueled by shallow assumptions based on her appearance and dominance in the ring. In reality, Beth Phoenix lives a very conventional and stable personal life. She is straight and married to WWE legend Edge, one of the most iconic names in wrestling history. Together, they have 2 daughters and maintain a loving, low-key family life that's admired by fans who see past the spotlight and into the strength of their bond. Beth Phoenix is living proof that a woman doesn't need to be delicate or soft-spoken to be iconic. She claimed her place in wrestling history through her power, presence, and passion, defying stereotypes and standing tall in the face of misunderstanding and bias. Her legacy is not just one of strength in the ring, but of courage to be unapologetically herself. Number 10. AJ Lee, the small girl with a big personality who was once misunderstood. AJ Lee was one of the most uniquely styled female wrestlers WWE had ever seen. While many divas of her time embraced a glamorous, seductive image, AJ went in a completely different direction. Long black hair, sharp eyes, denim shorts, t-shirts, sneakers, and a tomboyish vibe that set her apart instantly. Add in her love for comic books, video games, and a private lifestyle that kept her personal life under wraps, and AJ quickly became a subject of curiosity and speculation across online communities. Some fans began to question her gender identity and sexual orientation, not because of anything specific she did, but simply because she didn't fit the typical mold of WWE's female stars at the time. She didn't do sultry dance segments, didn't strike sexy poses for magazines, and never tried to conform to the industry's expected image. To many, she seemed like a total outlier, someone who broke every rule without even trying. However, all those assumptions were simply misunderstandings. AJ Lee is straight and married to CM Punk, one of the most well-known names in professional wrestling. Their relationship is low-key but solid, built on mutual respect and shared values. They've supported each other through every chapter of their lives, far from the public eye but deeply connected. AJ Lee represents the modern woman, someone who doesn't need to meet society's traditional standards of femininity to earn respect or admiration. She proved that authenticity, passion, and individuality matter far more than fitting in. Even though she was once misjudged, AJ never wavered from being herself, and that's exactly why fans continue to admire and remember her to this day. Number 11. Fandango, a misunderstood dance beneath the spotlight. Fandango made one of the most memorable debuts in WWE thanks to his charming and slightly eccentric persona. Styled like a professional Latin dancer, he always entered the ring dressed in shimmering outfits, tight-fitting shirts, perfectly styled hair, and moved with smooth, calculated grace. His character frequently performed ballroom-style dances with various partners, sometimes women, sometimes men, leading many fans to question his sexual orientation. His graceful movements, expressive eyes, and flirtatious body language sparked assumptions among some viewers that he might be part of the LGBT community. The speculation grew as his character clearly stepped away from the traditionally rugged, hyper-masculine image associated with WWE's male roster. Instead, Fandango embraced flair, elegance, and a sense of performance that felt almost too polished for the gritty world of pro wrestling. But off the stage, it was all just that, performance. In real life, Fandango is straight and has never made any public statements or taken actions indicating he is a member of the LGBT community. He keeps his personal life private, avoids the spotlight when not performing, and stays focused on his craft as an entertainer. Fandango perfectly illustrates that performance art and personal identity are two separate things. Just because someone dares to be different on screen doesn't mean they should be boxed into narrow assumptions. He didn't just bring a fresh, vibrant energy to WWE, he also showcased how character work can break boundaries and add depth to modern wrestling storytelling. Number 12. Damen Sando, Aaron Stevens, the intellectual gentleman who was misunderstood. Damen Sando, also known by his real name Aaron Stevens, was once one of WWE's most unique characters, portraying a refined intellectual with a theatrical flair. Dressed in perfectly pressed suits, sporting slicked-back hair, and speaking in a tone laced with sarcasm, Sando brought a rare blend to the wrestling world, part philosopher, part Shakespearean actor. But he didn't stop there. Sando often embraced over-the-top roles with dramatic flair, taking on personas ranging from wise scholars to ballet dancers. At times, he appeared with a soft-spoken, almost delicate demeanor, sparking curiosity among fans. His mix of sophistication, gentle mannerisms, and theatrical segments led some to speculate about his sexual orientation. A portion of the audience assumed Sando might be part of the LGBT community, especially given his alliances with eccentric characters and his emotionally expressive performances. In reality, that couldn't be further from the truth. Off-screen, Damen Sando is straight and was romantically linked to actress and former WWE diva Barbie Blank, better known to wrestling fans as Kelly Kelly. There's never been any evidence suggesting he's a member of the LGBT community. The assumption stemmed purely from the diverse and often flamboyant roles he played in the ring. Damen Sando never needed bulging muscles or a tough guy image to leave a mark. He stood out with his wit, charm, and unmatched versatility, keeping fans both intrigued and entertained. And while his unique approach made him memorable, it also became the source of some unwarranted misunderstandings. Number 13. John Morrison, the flashy star misjudged by appearance. From the moment he arrived in WWE, John Morrison stood out with a style that screamed showbiz. With flowing shampoo commercial hair, a perfectly sculpted physique, and outfits that screamed glam rock, bright, shiny, and flamboyant. Morrison's presence felt more like a runway model than a typical wrestler. Every step he took oozed confidence and flair, each movement polished like a choreographed performance. But because of this highly groomed appearance, many fans began to question Morrison's true sexuality. Fueling those rumors further was his on-screen relationship with Melina, portrayed as both his girlfriend and manager. Unlike the typical sweet romantic angle, their dynamic was quirky, over the top, and at times borderline theatrical, which only added to the audience's curiosity and speculation. However, Morrison's real life told a very different story. He and Melina were actually in a serious long-term relationship for years, a well-known and genuine connection outside the ring. Later on, he married professional wrestler and fitness athlete Taya Valkyrie, making it clear that any past assumptions about his sexuality were simply misunderstandings rooted in his expressive performance style. John Morrison proves that someone's fashion choices, graceful movement, or artistic flair shouldn't automatically be linked to their sexual identity. He's simply a performer, one who uses charisma, aesthetics, and individuality to craft a unique image in the ring. In the world of wrestling, where larger-than-life personas rule, Morrison is a reminder that bold self-expression should be appreciated, not questioned. Number 14. No Way Jose. When color and dance led to misunderstanding. No Way Jose was once one of WWE's most standout personalities, thanks to a style that was anything but ordinary. From his very first appearance, he captured attention with his signature curly hair, bright smile, and high-energy movement. Dressed in vibrant, colorful outfits and always dancing his way to the ring, Jose brought a party atmosphere to the intense world of professional wrestling. However, that joyful and unconventional image also led some fans to question his sexuality. A number of people speculated whether No Way Jose might be a member of the LGBT community, especially since his lively entrances often included fluid, flamboyant dance moves, something not typically associated with the more traditionally masculine image of male wrestlers. Despite the rumors, there's no factual basis behind the assumptions. No Way Jose has never made any public statements suggesting he is part of the LGBT community. In fact, outside the ring, he leads a fairly private life but has been open about his personal relationships. He has been married and shared happy, everyday moments with his wife, indicating clearly that he is heterosexual. No Way Jose serves as a clear example of how stage persona and real-life identity can easily be confused. In a world of entertainment where everything is heightened for effect, it's not uncommon for unique characters to be misunderstood. Yet, it was precisely his upbeat personality and one-of-a-kind style that made him such a memorable figure in WWE. 15. Alicia Fox, the bold queen misjudged for her rebellious style. Alicia Fox was one of the most uniquely styled female wrestlers WWE has ever seen. Unlike the typical diva mold of her era, she carved her own path, sporting bold makeup, eye-catching outfits, and an unapologetically fierce presence. Every time she stepped into the ring, she was like a whirlwind, unpredictable, intense, and never afraid to showcase her wild, rebellious spirit. But that very individuality once made her the subject of swirling rumors about her sexuality. Some fans speculated that Alicia might be bisexual, especially after she was seen being close with fellow wrestlers like Melina and Layla during backstage segments. Even though those relationships were purely platonic or professional, the internet quickly picked up on her offbeat style and unconventional energy, sparking widespread gossip based on little more than assumptions. In reality, those rumors had no factual basis. In her personal life, Alicia Fox had several known romantic relationships with male colleagues, including former Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett and former football player Darryl "DJ" Wallace. These relationships were public and openly acknowledged, helping to dispel the unfounded speculation. Alicia Fox never felt the need to fit into anyone's expectations. She embodied rebellion, limitless individuality, and a free spirit, traits that can sometimes lead to misunderstandings. But for Fox, being unapologetically herself was always the ultimate victory. 16. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan has always stood out as one of the most recognizable names in WWE's modern women's division, not just because of her improving in-ring skills, but also thanks to her rebellious, standout appearance. With platinum blonde hair, edgy fashion choices, and a bold, unapologetic attitude, Liv quickly became a role model for a younger generation of fans. However, her early tomboy style and close bonds with several female colleagues have led to frequent misconceptions about her sexuality. Many fans have speculated that Liv might be part of the LGBTQ community, especially when she regularly posted affectionate photos with Ruby Riott and Rhea Ripley. Backstage moments showing their closeness only fueled more fan theories and shipping. But in truth, all of it was based on assumptions drawn from appearances, none of which reflect Liv's actual private life. In reality, Liv Morgan is straight. She is currently in a relationship with Dominic Mysterio, a romance that has drawn a lot of attention from fans. Liv has never publicly identified with any other sexual orientation. She's simply a strong personality, not a symbol of sexuality, as some have misunderstood. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the exciting content coming up on Wrestling Sphere, where we uncover the untold stories of the wrestling world.